That first segment was segment 6. This is going to be segment 7. Well, good evening. You found us. It's Texas Time Radio with Michael Berry on News Radio 740 KTRH, Sundays 5 to 7, and always on the web at texastime.com. You can sign up for our e-blast. We'll tell you who's coming to town, who we're interviewing, who we're celebrating. We promote Texas people and places because we think that's important. Everybody wants to buy local. Everybody wants to support local. Everybody wants to support the Texas musician and their craft. They just want to know who's out there. They want to hear more about it, and they'll gladly spend their money to support these wonderful artists and this way of life that, going back to, how appropriate for today, the Willie Nelsons of the world, they had to start somewhere, and we know that all the great Texas musicians, people, products, places, they have to start somewhere. We just want to help tell that story, and we thank you for supporting them. We thank you for supporting our sponsors like Goods Armadillo Palace, from which we are broadcasting today at 5015 Kirby, named Best Burger Joint in Houston for the last 2 years, and supporters of live, local Texas music almost every night of the week. Our guest is Paula Nelson, Willie Nelson's daughter, but an artist in her own right. I enjoyed that. Little City's Last Call. You've been in a few small towns and closed a few small town bars, I can tell. Let's talk, if we could. Introduce your band.
To my right, this is Landis Armstrong, and he's playing the awesome guitar that you hear.
It's unfortunate this is Theater of the Mind because Landis wins the award for most interesting hair.
He does. He's the coolest hair.
He's got the band members' hair that the other guys didn't subscribe to. Where did you find Landis? I think people like to hear the behind the scenes of this. Criminal record, felonies. We'd like to hear it all. All the good stuff.
You know, Landis and Kevin, who plays drums, have been playing together for, 20 years, 15 years?
Since World War II.
40 years.
Before fire, yeah.
So when you're putting a band together, obviously you had some family connections. How do you find these guys? Where do they...
Actually,
that's important chemistry, right?
That's actually how I found Landis and Kevin, was through my nephew-in-law, Matt, used to be in the band, and he's married to my niece, and he was in a band with these two. And so basically we kind of all came together that way. And then just recently we have Mark Epstein behind us. So now it's Mark Epstein from a New Yorker and a Hawaiian mixed together. Yeah. A Hawaiian. And Kevin Remy over there and Landis Armstrong right there.
There you go. And let's get to some of your music and how you write songs. I mean, where is that place in the house? Where's that place in the bus? How do you decide? You hear something. What inspires you?
It just really depends. A lot of my songs they're all really personal. There's some that aren't, that are kind of funny or just fun to sing. But for the most part, they're pretty personal. So they're like journals, that that have a melody that usually that's what I do is I play the melody first. I find a melody that I like, and then I find the lyrics and the melody line, whatever they may be.
How old were you when you first wrote a song?
Actually, I thought that I had written I Think I Love You, and I thought that the Partridge Family had stolen it from me,
right.
But it might be the other way around.
Maybe they did. You probably have a better version.
Heard it in the background.
When you listen to music in your iPod or on the radio or wherever you listen, what is that song that you hear? Corey Morrow and Pat Green had a great segment, Songs We Wish We'd Written. And I always thought that was great, for musicians, because I'm sure there's a song out there that when you hear it, you go, man, if that had been, I'd have written that one.
Yes, there's a bunch of them. And sometimes it makes me, when I hear other people's really good songs, I think, man, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. That's too good. And but, I think we all influence each other. And actually, my dad has a funny story. He used to say, let's all sit around and steal each other's songs. So we all influence each other with a, circumstance or out on the road, like you'd mentioned before. There's, I have a lot of songs about parking lots these days.
Right. Well, it's amazing how often that happens. Missing the family, being on the road. Mm-hmm. You realize why that comes up a lot. I may not live that life, but musicians do, and that's obviously their inspiration. Let's hear some more music. How about one of the songs we wanted you to play is Standing Tall. Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, actually, we had It kind of has, it's a combination of everything. It's about standing tall, and sometimes people let you down, and situations let you down, and you just got to stand tall.
Perseverance. It's from your most recent CD out in 2008 titled Lucky 13. Lucky 13. And any meaning with that title? Special meaning to Lucky 13?
There were 13 songs, and just the word lucky and the number 13 we thought we'd try it out, and it's worked well for us so far.
Here it is, Paula Nelson and her band with Standing Tall off the 2008 CD Lucky 13.
1, 2, 3.
Burning desire, playing with fire when I know how to find that road and where it goes. A primary example, waiting here to gamble what I'd win. Turn it off, then right back on again. And when I'm staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, the evening's begun. My extraordinary Justice Sister Mary, she would know. Just tell you everything you want to know. Well, it's a risky business. Nothing is as hard as standing tall. Holding on, I'm climbing up the walls. So I'm a dead all on the edge, but I'm doing all right. This for tonight. But I'm further along than the last time you called. Though I'm sleeping with dogs, they offer comfort when there's none. And I'm pretending not to notice that your presence isn't there after all. That your words are conducive to the fact that you know nothing at all. Still standing tall. Of Austin, easy to get lost in, I would know. Done it all before and probably more. But stay in the glory, it's quite a different story on its own. Try to leave, but there's just no place like home. So I'm a dead on the edge, but I'm doing all right. This for tonight. But I'm further along than the last time you called. Though I'm sleeping with dogs, they offer comfort when there's none. And I'm pretending not to notice that your presence isn't there after all. That your words are conducive to the fact that you know nothing at all. Still standing.
Standing Tall, Paula Nelson, off the CD Lucky 13.